it's this anti-natalism, which actually has roots in the Christian tradition. The earliest Christians, the Gnostics, were anti-natalists. They thought that the end of the world was so near that we shouldn't punish future souls to come into the fallen kingdom. We need to abstain from having children.
I've heard that, and actually, I've had close friends even reference that frame of mind. Man, the world's so fucked up, and I can't do anything about it. It would be amoral for me to have kids, and yeah, it's at one time it could be at a certain point, at a certain age, that can be a convincing and powerful statement, but at a certain point, you realize. At least I did, the only way to really affect change is to make better people.
That and also gratitude, an attitude of gratitude defeats that line of thinking, because that basically comes from an attitude of non-grateful dismissal of life.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like here I am in this meat sack, like how could I, it's so immoral to produce another one of me in another meat sack. It comes from basically a bad attitude about the opportunity that life affords.
Well, actually, I wasn't planning on playing this clip, but I think it's a good segue, because to me, the foundational fallacies of the whole abortion industry to begin with is the fact that it's rare, safe, and legal, right? That's what rare because it's only in the case of rape and incest and these extreme circumstances where it might threaten the mother's health, right? We talked about that before. But what we have actually, whether that was the foundation or not, it's not that way anymore. It is more often a matter of convenience. I think people create a lot of egregores for themselves as to why they need to make this decision.
Definitely.
And I was listening,
there's plenty to be appealed to as well, because they've been proliferated for a long time.
I'm a guilty MMA fan. We've talked about MMA before, and when I want to kind of turn my brain off, I'll listen to some of these fighter interviews, because sometimes they have some entertaining value. But in this one, I was listening to Luke Rockhold, who is a former middleweight champion in the UFC. And he lost his title, and he's trying to come back and all this. And I was listening to this portion of the interview where he's talking about, quote, overcoming personal issues. And I think this is kind of a good portrait into what we're dealing with here, which is a abortion industry that is investing in the psychology of sort of an irresponsible, unaccountable, do you type of lifestyle, and this guy's also a model, so he's promiscuous. But anyways, here's the clip that I wanted to play.
And you mentioned to us you were sort of overcoming some personal things going into this camp. It was a lot of stuff to get over. How are you doing right now that you're closer to actually fight time? I see you're in amazing shape. You're obviously doing all this great art and you're living a great life. How are you feeling right now compared to sort of before you started the camp, where you weren't quite sure how your body was going to hold up, and when you were still sort of dealing with some of those things?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I know I wanted to give it my best, college try, and implementing, the bio team with Fount and using every special. I mean, the thing in LA, you have a lot of.
I think maybe the I think the Wi-Fi cut out. You were saying the thing in LA. What did you say?
Yeah, the thing here in LA is that you have everything at your fingertips. The high end of science and technology and recovery. And so really kind of finding out those tools, speaking with those people, and learning a lot of corrective methods and lengthening and just healing the body, and implementing all those, using those assets and those tools and putting everything into play is the biggest game changer, and implementing it in my day-to-day life. You know what I mean? It's that's the thing is I walk outside my door every day into my madhouse, and I fix every part of my body. You know, I walk out and I have everything I need every day. Every day I'm submerged. I'm immersed in the space and just fucking grinding. And that's it. That's, you know, that's the lifestyle you have to live to be the best at what you do and what I lost focus on.
It's incredible, like hearing you. You know, focus seems to be sort of the theme of your life right now. And I know you mentioned to us, you know, that the personal situation you had with, you know, the abortion, and then you mentioned it to Mike Bond as well. But when you spoke to Mike, you kind of mentioned how that's something that helped put things into place for you. Can you take us into that moment, like how that kind of, you know, brought you to that conclusion?
It just puts life into perspective, man. When you're counting on having a kid and you're preparing your life and you have to put everything into play and understand and digest, you know, what that transition is going to be like, and if it's possible, and what it's, you know, what that vision looks like. So, it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear, and it wasn't true. And I want it to be right next time. I don't want to fuck up like that again. It hurts, you know, to go through that process and to feel that. And so it's I wasn't in the right place in my life, and to do that, to be where I need to be. So it's time to fucking sack up and get shit done and do what I got to do.
So this is a man. This is a burly man. He's gonna go knock out. He's gonna be the champion of the world. He's gonna get his belt back. He's got everything he needs. He's got the bio team to help him recover from training.
Look, millions of dollars from his championship.
I've got my sauna out here in my beautiful garden out here in LA. I got
$5 million home.
I got people who train me all day and wipe my butt and kiss my ass. And when, you know, you're confronted with having a kid and having to put that vision into place, you know, it's just not clear. It wasn't clear, you know. And
I can't think outside of myself and
so
my luxuries.
I just gotta sack up and get things right. I gotta get my belt back. And it's like, could you be
more selfish and narcissistic?
Could you be more narcissistic and selfish?
God. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. That's really fucked up.
So you see how I play that? Why I played that?
Absolutely. That's that anti-natalist attitude.
Yeah.
That's that.
Like, it's going to take away from his life. And there are plenty of fighters who've won with a kid, dude.
Duh.
And they're like, now they're
that's
like,
a motivating factor.
Now they're like,
Guess
oh,
what?
now I know what I'm fighting for, you fucking idiot.
Idiot. He's going to get beat.
I hope he gets knocked the fuck out.
He's going to get knocked the fuck out.
I'm going to have you over. I'm going to have you over for a fight night.
Absolutely.
Get the projector out.
Yeah, hit me up, man. I'm down to see this guy's
I don't believe in karma. Like, you know,
Not
Dutch
unlike,
believes in the Bible,
right?
But
right.
I think karma is kind of a real thing, you know, in essence, you know. And he is gonna get his. He is not gonna get his belt back. He's gonna get knocked. I couldn't believe he said that shit on the fucking interview.
Well, because it just shows the solipsistic, homunculian bubble psychology of these celebrities. And this is not just,
and
I mean...
This happens all the reason he's so comfortable saying it is because he's in LA, and that is just par for the course. Yeah. Like, I've even heard people around here, you know, oh, are you going to keep him?
Right.
You're like, oh, you're pregnant? You're going to keep him? Like,
right.
Yeah. And then the whole genetic counseling thing we talked about earlier.
100%. I mean,
you know, we don't recommend abortions. We just give them more information on potential genetic deformities that could occur. You know, they might have a heart attack in 30 years because of this genetic marker we found. So you might as well just why put him through that? You're you know, like he's like in this guy's head. In this guy's head, he's probably like, I can't have the kid and then neglect him to focus on my career. So it would be cruel of me to have this baby and even pretend to take care of it.
Putting the cart before the horse.
Yep. Man.
Absolutely. And it's just, that is the psychology that's been writ large in the society, is always putting the cart before the horse.